2 losses in soccer, 2 wins in basketball. Yesterday's even. Let's see if today can be profitable. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason, of course, with Winning Bets, giving you guys free sports picks every single day. Thank you guys so much for kicking off your Thursday morning with me here. Yesterday was kind of a funny day. Put in 4 bets, lose the 2 soccer bets, which is a sport that I think I'm generally better at, win the 2 basketball bets. Go figure right there. What were those 2 losses? Of course, Southampton and West Ham did not go over 10.5 corners. West Ham certainly did their part. They got 7 corners. Southampton didn't chip in at all, only getting 1 corner, so that was a loss. And then Liverpool team total over 2.5 goals. Got 2 first half goals sitting pretty, and then get nothing the rest of the way. Really unfortunate right there. So that goes down. But yeah, like I said, rebounded at the nighttime in the NBA. Get cash in both of our unders. Kings Pelicans under 235 and Blazers Suns under 230. So basically a wash of a day. We did obviously put some more arbitrage money though in our pocket, as you can see here from this tweet. We spent a couple bucks. We ended up losing those free rolls. But every Wednesday we know DraftKings does that gift. Will there be a goal scored in the first 10 minutes of some random hockey game that they choose? That one we usually always make several dollars off that. We had almost $7 off that. So now we're at a little over $11 of arbitrage money and free roll opportunities here for the rest of the week. Let's get back to our winning ways. Let's put some money in your pocket. Let's go right back to the NBA. And let's go right back to these over-unders. We're going to do an over today. We're going to do Pistons Raptors over 216.5 points. Tweeted this bet out earlier this morning. I've got the game scored at 224. So feel really good. And Pistons Raptors going over 216.5 points. And unfortunately, that's the only basketball game where the numbers check out. We have a big enough discrepancy where I feel confident enough to put my money behind it. So that'll be the only one. Again, Pistons Raptors over 216.5 points. And I got the game scored at 224. It's nights like this when you realize you've only got one basketball bet that, boy, do we need baseball back. I mean, we're really good at baseball, I should say. Baseball and soccer are by far my 2 best sports. And we just need bets. We need bets. And we need baseballs. I would roll the dice on some baseball action. Basketball is not really one of my strong suits. I'm not rolling the dice on basketball. But boy, if we had some baseball action, we could roll the dice on some team totals, some F5s, some Nerfies. How fun would that be? God, we need baseball back. Help us out. Let's stay with the NBA here for a second. TNT is bringing back our favorite promo, or at least it was certainly my favorite promo, and I think it was largely becoming your guys' favorite promo as we were really successful before it got taken away from us. That's right. It's the Friday first basket that FanDuel was doing, where, of course, you put in a $25 bet, see who can hit the first basket, and then for every 3-pointer made in that game, you get $1 back. So these were free rolls, absolutely free rolls. We caught on fire right when these came to an end. You guys remember we hit 2 of the last 3. We hit Yurtsevin and we hit Nurkic. Nurkic was the one where we hit it, and then it ended. So we hit 2 of the last 3. It's now back. It's not going to be on Friday. It is actually today. It's not as good as before. You can't choose between every single NBA game like you could on the Friday first basket. They give you 2 NBA games. You got to pick between the 2 of them. It's Grizzlies Celtics and it's Lakers Clippers. As always, before we care about first basket, it's which of these 2 games is going to give us the opportunity to have the greater chance of a free roll. It's by a slim margin, but it is Lakers Clippers, and it only projects at 23. When we were doing these things on Fridays, we were able to find a matchup that was over 25 3-pointers, essentially giving us a free roll. This one projects at 23 3-pointers, so you could lose $1 or 2. We won't, unless we lose something substantial, we won't track it because, I mean, on those 2 wins on Yurtsevin and Nurkic, when we won, we actually got our $25 back from those 3-pointers, and I didn't add that to the bankroll, so we're not going to worry about if we lose $1 or maybe $2 in this. If we lose something substantial, okay, cool. I'll go ahead and obviously put it in the update and count that as a loss. But if it's just $1 or 2, maybe $3, it'll just be a good old free roll for us. Again, we're going Lakers Clippers. It is the greatest chance for the most 3-pointers. It is only by a slim margin. Again, we're only projected 23. We got Dwight Howard up against Zubac. We had the same matchup Friday, February 25th. Dwight Howard won the tip-off. Not only did he win the tip-off that night, but I think the Lakers actually do have a tip-off advantage. As long as we get Howard versus Zubac, I would give the advantage there to Dwight Howard. So then that means who's going to score the first basket for the Lakers? I'm going to go ahead and go with LeBron James. I mean, he's day-to-day, but let's be real. LeBron James is always day-to-day, and he should certainly suit up. When you look at this roster, he's about the only one I certainly trust. These other guys are not that good. LeBron scored the first basket there on Friday, February 25th, the last two times these 2 teams played. So I'll go ahead and back LeBron James. I'll go ahead and back LeBron James here for this FanDuel promo. So we'll do Lakers-Clippers game. We'll put a $25 bet on LeBron James at plus 370 to be the first basket scorer here in the game. And obviously free throws count on FanDuel, where it's different than DraftKings. Free throws do count. So whether he makes a free throw or makes his basket, let's just hope LeBron James is the first one to do so. Okay, let's turn our attention now to soccer. We've really only got 2 games going on today. I'm interested in, I'm interested in both of them. First of all, let's talk about the FA Cup game. You've got Everton going against, and let me actually look up this team name. Actually, it slipped my mind. There's some Boreham Wood. Okay, whoever the hell they are. They're in the National League. That is, so you got Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, National League. So what is that? 4, yes, that's 4 rows below Everton. Should Everton win, Everton should absolutely smash here at Goodison Park. But the thing that gets me nervous about putting in this game before, or putting in a bet before you see this lineups, is Everton's in 17th place. Obviously sacked their manager. They've now brought in Frank Lampard. They are in a relegation fight. I don't believe they'll get relegated. I think at the end of the day, they do have enough attacking quality to save them and keep them up. But fact is, until they're safe, their backs are up against the wall, and they've got a real relegation fight. This is an Everton team that was absolutely robbed of a point over the weekend. In fact, the Premier League Referee Association even called Everton and apologized to them by not awarding them a penalty kick. So they're already coming into this game feeling like they should have had one more point than what they do have. They get Tottenham this weekend. That's a team that, based on Tottenham's form, that's a team that, they would think that they have a good chance of getting some amount of points from it, whether that's 1 or 3 points. So I am just nervous to bet that game before you see lineups, because their priority just has to be in the Premier League. Now, I still think an Everton B lineup should get the job done. And again, this team is in the Nationals, and it's at Goodison Park. So I'm just not going to bet this game without seeing lineups. You could go with team total. You could go score in both halves, however you kind of want to look at it. Something like that, a corners market. But I want to feel comfortable and see lineups and know that, okay, they're going to give this a go, or, okay, I'm right. They really do want to focus on this Premier League. And this is a lot of kids, and maybe something I just don't bet altogether. So that's where I lean on that one, is definitely have to see lineups on that one. The other soccer game is in Spain, and it's a Copa del Rey game. You got Betis going up against Rayo. Here's the deal with these two teams, and I'm kind of interested in this one. You've got, in this matchup, this is the second leg, and that kind of puts me off right there. The first leg was 2-1 to Betis on the road, so now they're at home. If you look at table here in La Liga, because both of these two teams are La Liga teams, Rayo, they, on away form, they'd be in last place in La Liga. If you look on the away table, they would be in dead last in La Liga. So a really terrible team. Betis, meanwhile, they're almost fighting for a Champions League spot. This is a really good team this season, so you would like them at home. Their team total over 1.5 goals. Is that minus 137? That's where I kind of lean in this game, or maybe at both teams to score. You look at the both teams to score in this recent head-to-head, it's cash, I think, in the last 4, or maybe in the last 5, if I recall correctly off the top of my head. Either way, it's certainly, I think, the last 4. So maybe both teams to score, but I do also like Betis, team total over 1.5. The thing is, I hate this, is you get in these second legs, and just their motivation has changed, right? A 1-0 win will probably get them through, because then that's 3-1 on aggregate, and that's probably good. So you're going to really need to hope that Rayo can get a goal and contribute, and then maybe keep them scoring to get that over 1.5 team total. So this is another game where I really want to back that team total. I really want to do Betis team total over 1.5 goals at minus 137. You start getting into these teams, I just don't know a bunch. If you look at Flash Score, there's a lot of guys missing for Betis. I don't really know who those guys are. It's a league I'm obviously familiar with, but you start getting into teams I'm not all that familiar with. So I do have a $10 free bet on PointsBet that we earned last week. So maybe I put that on it, or maybe I just passed. But those are my thoughts on those two games. Is I really like that Everton matchup. I really even like this Copa del Rey matchup. I really like that team total over 1.5 goals at minus 137. But just hate that this is the second leg. Let me keep mulling it over. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. I do have some soccer bets for you though. Between the Posts aired one day early. Matt and I did yesterday's episode of Between the Post there in the Premier League, so you can watch that and get a couple Premier League bets. But let me go ahead and add a couple more to it here for you, where I gave away 2 on yesterday's show. Here's some more for you. I'm going to go ahead and do Leicester to score in both halves at plus 145. I'm going to go ahead and do Aston Villa Southampton, both teams to score at over 2.5 at plus 104. I'm going to do Manchester City and Manchester United under 2.5 goals at plus 135. I'm going to take Manchester City on that clean sheet at plus 118. And then I'm going to take Bayern and Leverkusen. Both teams have scored over 3.5 goals at minus 106. It's only Thursday. Let's talk about those bets maybe on tomorrow's show. We talked about the Premier League ones all yesterday on Between the Posts. The only one there to talk about is really the Bayern-Leverkusen game. And Leverkusen's having a fantastic season. Bayern's been giving up goals. I mean, both those teams just get at it. Head-to-heads have been tons of goals in the recent head-to-head. So love the goals in that one. So right there. And then those Premier League bets, just go check out yesterday's episode of Between the Posts if you need an explanation of how Matt and I felt about those two games. And then also I gave out 2 bets on that show as well that you can get in there, or I'll give them to you tomorrow if you still need them. All right, guys, that's how we'll do it today. We'll roll with that one over in basketball and those Pistons and Raptors game over 216.5. Look for me a little bit later on Twitter. Man, I can't go all day with no action. Wait until the night. I bet I jump on that team total there for Betis. Just make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's at WinningBetsPod. It's at WinningBetsPod. Go enjoy your Thursday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.